Alright guys, welcome back to our video content. We are going to discuss about understanding Facebook and Instagram ads policy. Now if you'd like to know more about this policy, or if you want some more updates, you can visit facebook.com/policy/ads. Okay, when I have read this policy, I found that there are two main sections where your ads may be approved or may not be approved. So we have two sections, as you can see here. One of them is prohibited content and the other one is restricted content. And there are a few subsections why your ads are not approved. Those are based on your video ad content, your targeting market, and the positions of your ads, the text you add on your ads, and about the leads, and as well as using Facebook and Instagram brand on your ad campaign. Alright, so I'm going to quickly browse through this page, and I will show you what are the reasons why your ads are not approved or it does not reach to the right target market. Okay, so you will find all this information. I just want to give you a brief detail so you can have a quick checklist watching our video next time when you want to go for a new marketing strategy, or you want to do marketing on your product or service that you have started. So now let's get to the prohibited content. So while I was browsing the policy on Facebook and Instagram ads, I found there are like a quite long list to check. But here I want to give you a brief information on things that we have to consider before putting ads using Facebook or Instagram platform. So here's the list of prohibited contents. Number one is illegal product or services. Now I'm not going to read all these contents one by one, but I hope you may be able to get more idea about what it is, and based on the headings you'll be able to figure it out. So now on Facebook policy, it says that the ad must not constitute, facilitate or promote illegal products, services or activities. So you basically know that what it fits in within the society, right? So when you looked at Facebook is just a platform to entertain the community, right? By sharing photos or tags or your recent or your memories stuff, right? So, but on the other side, just to monetize the business, they have provide Facebook platform or Instagram platform for business people as well. Now, as we are entertaining our business program on the social media, they have limited a lot of things that as a business person we need to consider before using this social media platform for our businesses. Now, like I was reading out the product or the services that the Facebook or Instagram restricted are. Number one is illegal product or services. You just want to consider first that if your product which you want to sell or you want to market on Facebook or Instagram is illegal or not. All right, and it also may vary based on which city, country or county you are living in, but almost it's same everywhere around the world. So the next thing is restrictions on tobacco products, right? So tobacco usually is not something that even the entertainment industry promoted, because that thing has age limitation. Now why I want to tell you about the age limitation is because there are something like if you buy an alcohol or a tobacco or anything that contains nicotine or anything that can impair a person, right? So those are something that Facebook and Instagram really think about and consider as a product that should not be marketed to the people. So also here we have the drugs and drugs related product, the third one. Now, as you see that there are some products which are very good for each and every different person, but it does not necessarily mean it fits and it's okay for every person, right? So considering all this, you just want to recheck once again that if the drug or anything that related service or products you do not want to market on Facebook or Instagram platform. And yes, it's very no for the fourth point, which is the weapon, ammunitions, or explosive. This is totally restricted in any form. Even if you try to use Google Ads, they have limitations on these weapons, ammunitions, or explosive items or products or services. Now, and also the fifth one, you don't want to provide any product or services using your marketing campaign about adult product. Now you have to consider these things in your mind that Facebook and Instagrams are considering a marketing that targets every age limit, right? So if you can bring up a product that fits to every age, right, from maybe 0 to 100 plus, I think that there should be any problem for you to do any marketing. But when I looked at the policy, I found out that most of the products which they restricted, prohibited, are based on the criteria of age bar. Okay, so and the seventh one is third party infringement. All right, so now what it is, like, you don't want to use somebody's videos, somebody's audios or contents from blogs or posts or images, something like that, which is a copyright, a trademark, or has a private policy, and which does not permit you to use their license for your brand marketing or your product or service marketing. So you want to make sure that if you are using any kind of third party copyright, trademarks, product or services to your marketing campaign, you obtain a license or a permission from the respective owners, and with that you always can send the appealing, or say the approval letter to Facebook or Instagram, so that they approve your marketing, right? And the eighth one which we have is misleading and false content. Now this is something we usually used to see in a daily newspaper or in a magazine in classified category, but this particular things they do not permit in social network platform like Facebook and Instagram. The reason is because sometimes it leads to a wrong page, right? For example, let's say you create a landing page, right? And if that landing page lead up to like a pornographic website or something like which is age restricted again, aside, then they will have restrictions on all those links and all those ad campaigns. And we have a controversial content, right? The controversial contents can be a political opinion, so which is totally they have restricted on that one. So you don't want to put any contents which is emotionally impacting or physically impacting somebody's thoughts on this particular platform. All right, so and let's move on to the next one is the non-fictional landing pages. So it's just very similar to the misleading and false content. It shows that we should not be creating an ad where you want to show to the world that what it is about, and then you have uh, in the background put a landing page to a different link, which is again age restricted or is not being accepted by or is not being approved or authorized by specific country, city, or culture, right? So you want to look onto that. And surveillance equipment. So surveillance equipment could be something like a spy cam or a software or a bot that you want to sell, right? So if you are trying to sell a software, something that spies or turn on your camera things and all, record your audios and all those things. And yeah, of course, Facebook and Instagram doesn't allow you to market any product, something like a security camera, right? So if you try to sell any product through online and using the platform of Facebook and Instagram, you probably may be restricted because it's under the surveillance equipment that you cannot sell it or do a product marketing using their platform. So here's another thing, that the personal health. All right, personal health is something like, you would have seen that there are a lot of products like in cosmetic or dermatologists that they usually give you before and after products a photo, right, or any kind of like a review on the products, like what was it before and what has happened after the use of the product and all those stuff. They do not allow you to use those kind of product marketing campaign using their platform. And as well as payday or cash advance loan. So it's very basic thing, you know it very well, so I don't have to explain what it is about. And let's move on to the counterfeit documents. So what it is about, you may not promote any fake documents, something like you got like you pay this much and you get a degree or a college certifications, or you can obtain a diploma and all those things. There's a lot of scams going around the world with a fake certifications stuff. So you don't want to provide anything that restrict or which is not completely genuine based on the city or the state or the country that you're living in. For example, that you cannot advertise any kind of like any course that you want to provide to somebody and tell them that you pay this much and within this point of time, this period of time, you're going to get the certificates and you will be able to use those certificates. Those kind of campaigns are good for offline probably, but they do not permit you to do any kind of a marketing ad campaign using their platform. All right, so now let's move to the spyware and the malware. So like I was explaining to you about the surveillance equipment, very similar to surveillance equipment, the spyware or malware is something, it's a software application which they do not allow you to. For example, if you are using your phone or your tablets or computers, usually we used some kind of a spyware or like a malware, like a bot to do things in like autopilot services, so you don't want to market on kind of a software which are falling under this category because it's going to be a waste of time for you. And you don't want to do any auction as well. You don't want to promote any business where somebody has to bid the product, like eBay used to have the product where you bid the money, and then if you are the highest bidder, then you win the product, or you get the best price of the product. Those things you have to really keep in mind, because that's again under the prohibited content or ads authorized by Facebook and Instagram. And the last one on prohibited content is multi-level marketing. So what does this mean is when you do your marketing, right, you do not want to promote anything like something like affiliate marketing. Okay, so like investment for a little amount of of any kind of like in a business model, right? So let's say you have a concepts about some business model, and you want somebody to uh, uh, use those kind of product, and then to do the marketing over there. It's gonna be let's say you have Amazon products that you want, and you've been doing Amazon marketing, right? Now you want to sell those kind of marketing campaign product, and so that you can teach somebody. Now this kind of a marketing they don't allow here. It's very self-explanatory. I mean, if you browse on the policy, the only reason why I have put up this content is because sometimes we are busy. I mean, people are busy, so they don't have a time to read all these long policies of every company. So just give you a highlight on what and where you have to keep in mind before you do plan to run your ad campaign using either Instagram or Facebook. And now let's move toward the restricted content. It is very similar to the prohibited content, but there are a few lists they have that they completely restricted, and you need to keep in mind this stuff as well. So as we were looking around, talking to browsing around all this information, and so let me just give you more information, a quick brief summary on the restricted and the restricted content. Just a second. Okay. So like I was explaining to you on the prohibited content, always never ever forget that your product, when you want to use Facebook or Instagram to market your product or your services, you always want to think and focus on a product that fits everybody. Like any age can use the product. There are time where there are product which kids or like a toddler cannot use it. Those are exceptions, but again then they are it's bought, those products are bought by parents, right? So you want to keep all these informations, this contents or this policy in your in your program, so that you know that who are the buyers, right? For example, let's say if you are buying anything which is for kids below 13 or 14 years, most of the kids who are below 14 to 15 years, they do not have a bank account, right? So somebody has to buy that for those teenage kids, right? And that time, the parents are the one, or the guardians are the one who are responsible for buying those product, right? So at the point of time, the guardians, if they do not think that the product which you are trying to sell does not fit their or is not good for those teenage, then they might probably won't buy it. So again, it's very limited, okay? And on the other side, you also want to think about that if you are thinking that your buyers are from 16 plus to 22, there are limitation again, because these guys between 16 to 22, they do have their own bank account, right? And they can do their own purchases and things and stuff. So you have to keep in mind about this category as well. And then plus 22 to 100-year-old, they have a full access. They know what they are doing, so they have the understanding of what product they want to buy. So when you are trying to do any kind of ad marketing, you want to target usually the category between 22 plus, or say between 18 plus, so that the people who are buying are adult, right? That's what the main focus of Facebook and Instagram. They don't want you to market anything to a kids who does, or people who does not understand what actually is the impact of the product, right? So here we come back to the restricted contents on Instagram and Facebook. So like I was explaining to you about the age limit, right? Now we have the alcohol, right? The alcohol is, in some cities, some states, they give you age limit of 18 plus, but in most cities or country or states, it goes from 21, somewhere it goes with 22. So your product, which you're trying to sell to people, or you want to market to the people, that has a very strong terms and conditions for people to buy or view this kind of a content. So alcohol is one of the thing which, like I said, you need to focus of your product before for people age above 22 or 21. So alcohol does have a restriction. It's because of the age. Now dating as well. An adult person know what they are doing. Not everybody knows it, but most of them know what they're doing. So again, dating things and the real money gambling. Like we have these days, we have a lot of websites and apps that are providing us on a platform to play gambling, right? You put your card information like blackjack, or say the flush, or the casino stuff, right? You can really make money using this digital platform, but Facebook does have a restriction. The only reason, because again, the age bar, and also subscription services. So you don't want anybody to invite to create your own group, or to gain any kind of a marketing program. So for example, let's say you have a product that you want to offer to the world, and then you are trying to collect information like a name, date of birth, and all those things, email, address. This is something that they do not want to. So if your page is landing to collect information, in exchange you might probably offer something, but because you are collecting information from the people, your target audience, Facebook and Instagram doesn't allow you to use these subscription services. And the branded contents. Now the branded contents, as we have explained in the prohibited contents, it is very similar to what we have here is the third party infringement, right? So it is like you cannot use somebody's brand, copyright, policy, trademark, license without their authorization. If you try to use those contents, please get the license or the permission from that person and tag them, right? So your marketing campaign shows that that particular company, the third party company, authorized, and they are aware of it, and they do know that you are, or say on behalf of them, or you are a part of their company that who are doing, or they have authorized you, they give you a permission to do their business marketing. So if you just have to tag in the contents of your ads, like in your videos or in your audio or in your text contents or image contents, you want to use their the brand, you want to tag them so that the company is aware of it, what you're doing, right? And one of the things, the no in digital marketing is political campaign or political advertising. You do not want to interfere, because everybody have their own moral things in this world, right? So you don't want to bet your political opinion when you are trying to monetize it. This is one of the biggest impact when you try to run a business and you put your own political opinion, there are you just have to be very very neutral on political opinion when you try to expand your business or try to sell or try to build a market in your business or say for your business. And the next one is the state lotteries. They do not permit you any kind of a lotteries on Instagram or Facebook that you market. And the online pharmacies this day you would have seen like there are people who give you advice through calls or emails, and you have you're able to get consultancy or advice or suggestions or prescriptions in a very very cheaper price. So these are online pharmacy. This guy might would give you information in a cheaper price. It might be good for you, but it's not good for somebody else. So it's like the two sides of a coin all the time. So you just make sure that you do not affiliate or do any kind of marketing campaign and that you want to share on your Facebook or Instagram, because they're gonna stop. They're gonna avoid those campaign for you. And the supplements, like we were talking about here on the prohibited contents, the supplements are like very similar to the drugs and drug related products. You do not want to market any product which are based on any kind of drugs related things. Supplements usually does not come under the category of the drugs, but it comes under the dietary and the herbal supplements and all those stuff. So it's not something that it doesn't have a side effect, but we cannot say, nobody have the clear proven experiment or a record or a data that it fits everybody. So there are a lot of products when you are trying to provide to the people. Everybody have a different blood group, kind of a different body structures and health. So considering all those things, you want to stay neutral, right? And for that reason, they do not allow somebody to promote any kind of a supplement, which could be your protein bar or protein powder and all those stuffs, for example. And the next one is the financial services. The financial services, they really do not promote it. It's something like you are trying to promote a credit card or say a bank savings account where you can earn a good percentage. It probably will be good for the company to directly promote their business, but as a third party or as an agent, they do have a restriction on this kind of marketing campaign. So if you are working for a bank, then you might would be permitted. But if you are just an affiliate or an associate or an agency who are trying to promote so that you can earn some kind of a commission, they would restrict you on promoting any kind of a financial services, something like financial accounting or charter accountants and all those stuffs, like a bank, credit card, loan, and all those stuffs, which is again very very similar to the one which we have here, payday or cash advance loan, and also penny auctions. It comes under the same category, right? So you want to keep in mind that you do not try to provide any kind of these services or do a marketing campaign that you want to run using the platform of Facebook and Instagram. And again, the financial service, students and loan services, this comes under the category of the financial services, so you want to keep in mind. And the last one is the cryptocurrency product or services. So you might there are possible that you've been making good money out of the cryptocurrency product or training somebody as a service provider, this kind of services or product, they really do not. I have never seen, or if there was, I think they would have restrict those kind of marketing campaign uh, in using the Facebook and Instagram platform. Now, all these informations are available on a Facebook and Instagram ad policy. These are not the complete information, but yeah, it's just like a very summary and a brief, which I think it's good enough for if you are doing any kind of affiliate marketing, or if you are doing any kind of drop shippings, because you do not want to invest on something that's not going to work out, right? So you want a return from your investment. So keep in mind, you want a return on from your investment. And so you do not want any kind of a limitation or restriction and anything that you do. So to have a cross check, I have got a little list over here. I think it's there are 7 lists. I would suggest you to follow this checklist. You might not have your own checklist, but I would say if you do not have it, just follow this thing so that you do not have any kind of a problem when you try to start marketing, and then you have to spend days and days from Facebook or Instagram to get your campaign approved. So the number 1 is policies for your product. Now, if you have any product that you think that it's very good, that you're gonna make a lot of money from this product, before you do marketing, understand what the product that you are trying to market to the people, and understand the company's policy. For example, if you're trying to use YouTube, the Google might have, or YouTube might have a policy, and similar to Facebook and Instagram, they have a policy. So you understand if your product or service meet the requirements and is under the restrictions or prohibited policy of these companies, right? And the second thing is you want to define your audience. Most of the product, like as we discussed about, these are all defined audience related policy. Basically, like I was saying, like if you are trying to market anything between from a toddlers to 16-year-old or 15-year-olds, they do not have their own bank accounts. The parents has to always purchase the thing. So it's not necessarily that the kids likes it and the parents purchase it, So you want to focus on the other part is that are you targeting from the 16 to 22, 16 or 22 or 16 plus? 16 to 22 are still considered under the age limit things, because above 16 they do have their own account. They can do the purchases from online without the authorization or permit from the parents. But you do not want to sell to kids who are, or people or a person who are of that age limit or that category, right? So you have to really understand your audience, what kind of a product are you selling, and when you do your ad campaign settings, you really want to check again what are the demographic of your target audience. Are you selling a product, or are you marketing that product for those age? Having the limitation, having a proper filter on this age category will give you a lot of opportunity to maximize your marketing reach, as well as a possible way to generate leads and sales. And the third thing, what I always say is that understand A to B or A to Z, the marketing exit plan. You don't want to get stuck with the same product for a longer period, right? Once you are able to market your product, your channel to your target audience, you don't want to repeat because they already know it, right? They already know where it is available and what kind of product are you selling, right? So it's not about building the brand. It's about the brand is already built, but you want to monetize it and move on to the next product to your audience, right? So don't get stuck with one particular product and try to generate it every now and then, right? You have to know how long you're going to market each product, right? So by then you will be able to have the case study of that product on that particular audience that you have selected where you are targeting, right? And the fourth thing is ad campaigns and promotional schedule, right? You want to schedule your ad campaigns and the promotional program. For example, let's say you have a Santa things, or like for Christmas you want to promote something like the Christmas related stuff, you know. If you are trying to promote a Christmas stuff or like the holiday stuff during off season, it's not going to bring you any interest of people, and it's just going to be a waste of marketing for you. So you, based on the season and the time, you want to always come up with your marketing channel. I always advise that, let's say for example, if Christmas time is on mid of December, then you want to start promoting your product around about like mid of October. So by the time mid of November, you already would have spent 30 days, and you know the data of what is the number of reach and number of leads and number of sales. Now between November to December, you still have another 30 days. In this point of time, if you think that product is selling, then you might want to boost as much as you can, so maximize your sales. But then if it doesn't work out within October to November, it's no use to push that for the end of the year, which for the next phase, which is between mid of November to December. Because if nobody is buying between mid of October to November, it's very rare that somebody's going to buy between 30th of mid of November to the mid of December. The reason is because I would say it's not the reason, but I would say why you don't want to do is because in that short period of time, it's the duration is very small, it's very less, so you will end up selling a very less quantity, right? You need more quantity to be sold out so that you make more money. So you want to make sure that you schedule your product or your services or the campaign at least 60 days ahead of the time or the month, okay, or the season. And always, before you start up anything, before you start your plan, before you start selecting your products, before you select for the platform like Facebook and Instagram to do your marketing, you always want to recap the products and the service content. For example, you want to review about the videos, you want to review about the audios, the blogs or the images files, that it does not have any problems with the policy which Facebook and Instagram have in their platform, right? And also you will always want to have a limited resource for that marketing campaign. For example, if you want to run one particular product, let's say the product is A, right? Let's say Apple. Now you want to have a limited resource to market that things, right? Let's say the resource to market would be image files, a content files, a video files, and audio files and all those stuff, so that you can use this resource to market that product. And you do know that you need to have a fixed budget or like a sufficient budget to promote that brand or that product or service with your resources. Let's say you have the Apple bag again. Now you want to sell this Apple as much as you want it. Now what you need is you need a blog, you need infographic, which could be an image, or the third one is a video content, or the fourth one would be an audio content, right? So you have 4 contents. Now with these different 4 contents, you cannot put all these 4 contents at the same time, so you want to create a budget for each content, right? So let's say you want the first week you want to hit with the blog, and you have the sufficient funds to spread this blog by sharing to other bloggers, and you want to have sufficient funds for the infographic, the image file. You want to have sufficient funds for the video content, which is like YouTube marketing, or Facebook marketing, or Instagram. You really have to focus on all these things, so you make sure that you have the sufficient resource to run the campaign for that product or the services, as well as you have the sufficient budget for each resource. Okay, and the last one is stay organized throughout the entire execution process. You want to make sure that you focus, you concentrate on what is happening right now. If you lost the track, it's going to be very, very painful, because you have spent your time, you have spent your money, but at the end you do not get any return, right? So most of the time why people fail in any marketing or any business is because they forget to stay organized during the period of their campaign or during their business. So yeah, that's all for now, and I hope that if you really like this content, please do share me what you think about it, and if you would like to get more information about how, or if you need any kind of a suggestion, please feel free to share and visit us at our website, www.cityversity.com. You may also would like to follow us on to get in touch at our Instagram page. It's with the same name with Instagram, and that is Cityversity. And I hope that's worked out for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to share. Thank you so much for now. Have a great day.